Scrap metal! Scrap metal!
Go fuck yourself. Go back to where you came from.
Predatory lending practices, you fucking
Right.
piece of shit.
Get your hands off my penis!
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be your mate forever. Take advantage of me, do it.
I've always worked in bars. Like, it's like a real harrowing thing
You're
to realize
such a
that yourself.
stereotype.
It is a big head, come to think of it.
Mate, his forehead impressed me when I see like this.
He brings it. He brings
got
it down.
paranoid checking
I'm
it.
not looking good.
There's a picture of him as a kid in the living room and like with a skinhead.
Hang on,
mate,
it's
the
not a living
fucking-
room. It is a purpose-built studio, actually. This is where we are. Keep up the illusion.
Everyone knows this is a fucking. If Daniel didn't, if Danny boy, what do you want to be called?
Whatever you like. Dan's fine.
I'm going
Most
for
people
Danny
call
boy.
me Dan. You go Danny. Danny's all right. I don't mind. I'm Australian. We have to just cop whatever nickname you
You
get.
just take it.
Yeah, if you don't cop it, then you'll be called it for the rest of your natural life.
I am glad you brought it up.
Sure.
My massive head, because I'm sad about it this week.
Why?
I'm going on holiday on Sunday.
Yeah.
You trying
So
to
it's
find a
been-
hat? No. Oh, sorry.
No, they don't fit.
He gave up on that years ago. What are you on about?
But I've not had a haircut in so long because I want to get it done before I go away.
Sure.
And now we're recording today and we're recording tomorrow. So for these two records, I've had anxiety about this head for the last 4 days. I'm sad about it.
I'm
man.
sorry we drew attention to it.
Yeah,
Straight
no, I'm glad you
away.
did because I was going to anyway because I feel like it needs addressing. And also I feel like when we do this, the audio listeners then go over to YouTube to have a quick look and then we might get more money.
Yeah, is that this fucking massive? Look at it. Look
I
at it.
can
Look at it
hear-
5 times. That'll be sick.
I could afford more haircuts. You know what I mean?
This is actually very predatory from you. This is to siphon money off the good people of Google.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Slide
call
that
that
in.
predatory.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that predatory.
Yeah, I would.
That means a different thing here. I don't know what it means in Australia.
In fact, I'm pretty sure you just using that word.
Predatory lending practices. You fucking
Right.
piece of shit. That's a phrase. That's a phrase. Like, I don't know if you've heard, but
Banking
austerity's a problem.
101.
How hilarious is it that the Aussies teaching me English?
Yeah. I mean, I'd actually buy a loan off you.
You shouldn't. That would explain your current financial position. I think if you see
Yeah,
a
the fact
guy
he needs
in a
loans.
fucking Adidas tracksuit, like, I reckon this guy's interest rates are sound. I can't see an issue there. But the haircut thing actually does seem very mean because fucking look at how fresh that is. Look at this. Look at this one.
Yeah.
And
Look
I'm
at that
so
boy.
upset you brought it up because I don't like this cut. I don't like it.
You don't like
anymore.
it?
I got it yesterday, fresh trim. Like Aaron, be
Oh, we
honest.
know
Yeah,
you got
but
it
that's
yesterday.
it.
What's the fade situation? Be honest. He's
not
an
that
ex-barber.
It's
so
not
he
that
can
bad.
You're an
to be honest.
ex-barber.
It could be worse. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the last time this guy in the barbershop cut my hair,
Yeah.
Aaron was on it straight away, and not even like a dick on camera. He did it off camera. I've talked about it on this before, which made it hurt a bit more because he was just being an honest friend.
But like, if you've chosen not to take that on board, that's not our problem.
No,
is it?
but the thing is, I did, and I was in the moment, and I got there, and I was like, he was outside having a cig. He was about to light a ciggy, and I thought, I'm getting away with it here. And I walked in, and it was only
the barber, not me, by the way.
The barber,
The
barber. Sorry, yeah.
You don't accompany him to haircuts? No. Now that would be predatory. My boy's here to have his haircut.
like watching it like a cook in the background. Like, he likes watching it more than he likes doing it. But yeah, I saw
Be a bit more aggressive with those scissors.
Yeah.
harder.
Higher fade. Fadier, skinnier. I like it.
But I saw like the when you get the owner of a barbershop, it's going to be a sick trim.
No, that's not true.
No, well, I was
Places
lucky
I've
enough.
worked, that is not true.
Sounds like a barber who's never owned his own shop.
Yeah. What happens when the owner gets when the owner starts to own his own place? He
Doesn't give a fuck.
yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's. I mean, it's
more
not the
often
case
than
here.
not, they take a back seat a bit more.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, this
So
guy's
that's like-
always on it.
That's like when like a comedian has their own comedy club and they compare. You're like, well,
Yeah. And you're like,
he's not
okay,
exactly
good.
turning it over anymore.
No.
Yeah,
He's not writing topical stuff, is he?
Yeah, that's fun. Oh, it's interesting because I had a barber change up. I somehow got lumped in with the trainee at the barbershop that I go to.
Yeah.
And just I didn't have the heart to be like, I'm sick of these really dull conversations and dull haircuts, like, to be fair. And then she left. And I got the owner and I came back home afterwards and my wife was like, you're going to her every time. I used to just be like, whoever's on. I
She
don't
wanted
give a
to
shit.
fuck. She wanted
Just
to.
like straight away, that's
Just
the
like,
cut
ooh,
for you.
There it is.
It's funny you bring it up about like I feel like I've mentioned this before. Like if you're having like boring conversations with your barber, it's because you want them. Have I mentioned that on here?
You have,
I feel like
you have, but I feel like I can't not. The one good thing about this guy is he doesn't say a fucking word.
Yeah.
So you get to just stare at your own reflection.
Yeah.
For the
But like
entire-
the reason I bring it up, nothing to do with barbering, but I've got like real beef at the minute. I've stopped going to a cafe because the woman's too polite and it does my head in.
I get Kai off, get it though.
Do you know what I mean? Like she's doing my fucking. I've stopped going, man. She's doing my head in. She just talks to me.
Yeah.
I just want. Do you know what I mean? I just want me chili and rice.
Yeah,
I don't want this conversation, this back and forth. How was your holiday? Do you know what? This is how ridiculous it is. She went, "How was your holiday?" I hadn't been on one, but I said it was great. She got me confused with someone else. I couldn't be bothered going.
More than 5 syllables.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered going. Oh, I've not been on one of. Yeah, I didn't go anywhere. She go, "Oh, is that not you?" Because I just knew it would be this back and forth. It was just easiest to go. Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah. Shut it down.
Yeah. She thought I went to Wales with Beth. That didn't happen.
Just the opposite of comparing. Just shut down everything that's coming out.
But like,
you.
I just can't. I've stopped going because she's just annoying, man. Like this, because she doesn't do anything bad, but like she's not even polite. Like she is polite, but like she's past polite, and she's just like inquisitive.
Sometimes.
And she's just chatty, and I'm like,
She's a talker.
Yeah.
She's coming in, she's talking.
Yeah.
You're trying to sit in silence with your chili and rice. What a hilarious culture that you go out for that here. My God.
Oh, I can't be bothered cooking
Chili,
that.
chili and rice, brother. That's like an at-home, sad, alone meal. Like,
not
that's
all
not
cultured like you.
I want to see the sunlight on this. That was like before I fucking came here. Aaron's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm getting a banh mi across the road." And he's like, "What's a banh mi?" And I'm like, "Man, it's a colonial sandwich. Like, you guys should know about this. Like, this is both elements of your culture together. Shit in between
We
bread
didn't
and
do it,
taking
though.
over shit."
We didn't do it.
Exactly. You've left no cultural, like, culinary legacy anywhere.
No.
Except India with butter chicken, but they took it back here. Like,
Yeah,
you can't
yeah,
get
yeah.
fucking there. But I do agree with the overtalker. I've stopped.
So annoying.
I've stopped attending cafes where the owner wants to be my friend too much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with it. Hey, man, how you going?
Yeah.
But, like, don't come over to the table. Because I'm here to avoid people.
I also hate the "how you doing" like question. Like I know what you're saying there. You like I will answer it. Like that's not
You'll
that
answer
bad.
it?
Yeah.
Fuck, all right.
Yeah.
What a hero.
I'm so generous. I'm such
Take a bite of the
martyr.
sandwich.
I'm such a martyr. But like that annoys me as well because like it's always the same answer. Like I could fall down the stairs and break my leg. I'd be like, I'm doing great. I'm fine. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Living the dream. That's always the same answer. And ultimately, you don't care about my answer.
I know.
I could say, oh, I fell down the stairs and ruined Christmas. And you'd be like, oh, mad that. And then you'd move on with your life again.
Because you wouldn't know how to talk about
Yeah.
it.
Wait, have you guys never just used this to just drop something that you can't really tell anybody? Like, I know that you got the thing here.
offload.
Yeah, like seriously, just go to like the barber, just like, how are you? It's like, I don't know if my relationship with my dad's ever going to become what we both want it to be.
Therapy.
And then they're just like, what? And you're like, just kidding, he's dead. And you're just like, order your coffee. And they're just kind of like, like, you know, they're not talking to you at the same anymore.
Yeah,
That's
They're
how
like,
you get left alone.
No,
to
it's
be
like,
fair.
this guy's a live wire. Like, we like him.
That is a thing, though, to be fair. I watched an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast because I'm an alpha. I'm an Andrew Tate of the world. And,
Snorting creatine.
nice forearms. Hell
Yeah, for sure, man. I look at grizzly bears and stuff. I know a lot about Joe Rogan.
Elk.
But there was a guy on there, I forget his name. But he was like, he just had loads of really mad stories. He was like really spiritual and stuff. I'll slide it in because the guy was great. It was a really it's an episode I'd recommend watching. But he said that he used to like pick up hitchhikers and stuff. Like if anyone ever not like as a hobby.
Just shag their heads off.
No.
Oh, you went that way. I was like murdering hitchhikers.
No, I've got it wrong. Sorry. No, he used to hitchhike when he was traveling. I've got it completely wrong.
okay.
He was the hitchhiker and
That's much better.
people would
Much
like
more sympathetic.
yeah. People would like pick him up, but he said that because like you go for the first hour of like, you know, they're giving you a 90-minute lift, and for the first hour and 20 minutes, you're just talking about sports, fucking like the weather, whatever, all the boring stuff, and then the last 15 minutes, it hits them that you're never going to see them anymore, ever again, and it all just comes out, and they'll just be like, oh yeah, I fucked my sister when I was 12,
What the fuck?
and they'd just be like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. I'm so glad I got a lift from you. And he like tells the story, but he's like, oh yeah, I murdered my cousin. I did 15 years inside. Like stuff like that, and like he just like they just go so fucking heavy. So what you were saying about like, do you never just want to get something off your chest? Like when they ask you, that actually does
That's a
happen with
tactic.
some people.
That's how you get out the car at your stop without paying towards petrol. That's what you do. You drop it in the little truth nugget like that.
No, he doesn't say that he fucks his sister.
They
That'd be
say-
so.
Oh,
the driver!
That'd be so-
driver!
He sat the back
Oh
and
my
he's like,
God.
yeah,
That would be so bold to go on the Joe Rogan podcast and admit it like nothing's going to happen. No.
He's done loads, him.
The guy driving,
his sister
the
and his
redneck
cousin.
driving the truck, Liam, from Alabama, is the one that fucked his
okay.
sister. Who knew?
I like that you thought both those stories happened to the same person.
Yeah.
Fuck the sister and spent 15 years inside
Yeah.
for killing the cousin who probably saw him fuck the sister. And was trying to cover that up and not
We've
ruin
all been
Christmas.
there.
Explains why he was so spiritual. So.
It does, yeah.
But no, I forget who it was. But like I've had people generally tell me things like at the time that they're just like telling you because they're like, well, I never see this guy again.
Yeah.
And then you see him again, and they're like, oh yeah, that was that guy that found out I was having a kid before my family. Okay. I'm just going, who's that? How's the kid?
Yeah. It's dead now.
It's a tendency to overshare, though, isn't it? Especially like I've worked in customer service, and it can be on the opposite side where you have to approach people and ask them how they're doing and stuff.
I fucking hate it.
Because otherwise you'll get a fucking shitty manager down your neck who hates their life and wants to make yours a misery. I hated working in retail, and it would be like you'd go up to someone who's looking at suits and you'd be like, "Oh, what are you getting a suit for? Are you doing anything nice?" And they'd be like, "Funeral," and then but you can't back out of it.
Yeah.
Then you've got to ask questions like, "Oh, whose funeral?"
No, you don't.
I did.
No,
I
you
did,
don't.
and that's how you close a sale, lad.
Yeah.
Right, so, they'd go funeral and you'd be like, oh, okay, it's cool. So a black suit is what you're after?
No, that's weirder. You go, whose funeral is it? They clearly want to share it with you, and then that's how you close the sale. And then as soon as that money's in the till, fucking see you later, lad. I'm not asked.
Are you getting a cut, or are you just like a monster?
Well, you'd get a commission on the signing up for it, signing them.
So
to
you were
credit they couldn't
profiting off
afford
this
to.
man's fucking dead mum.
Wait, you get a
And
commission
super big.
of signing them up to what?
Yeah, it was bad actually. I don't want to admit to this.
Would you describe this
So-
behavior as
Predatory.
predatory?
I really would, yeah.
It was kind of predatory. You had to sign them up for
What
like
was the sentence you used before?
Fun?
That's
What
what
was
you
the
just said.
sentence before?
Predatory lending practices.
Yeah, that.
It was actually.
Yeah, it was that.
It was actually that.
I
yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All for like fucking £2 extra in my minimum wage.
Yeah.
And I'd do it again.
Yeah, I love the idea that you get so broke that you just start killing everyone's family so they come in to buy suits.
Suits are the
Yeah, yeah.
priciest item, mate.
Yeah.
Someone with suits, you were like, right, I'm getting a £5 in my wages.
Like, I'm
this
so
month.
sorry that your mum's just died, Kizzy, but if you want to come down to Slater's, I could start killing all your mates' family off.
Have you ever worked in retail?
I worked in a bottle shop.
A bottle shop?
Yeah.
What
Oh, a
sell?
bottle. Is that like a Aussie thing? Is that the off license?
Yeah, but like
booze.
it just does booze.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like here. I know that it's kind of like have all like dose
Everything.
and whatever. Yeah, but like in Australia, it's like just bottle, like just
They do have a
alcohol.
couple of those shops here, bargain
Yeah.
booze and stuff. They have a few that are like that.
Yeah, that was it. Otherwise, I just work. I've always worked in bars. Like it's like a real harrowing thing
You're
to realize
such
about
a
yourself.
stereotype.
No, but just,
You're a fucking cliche, you.
if
The
any-
Australian coming over to the UK and being a bartender. That's never happened
I
before.
did that on home soil. You cunt. And I don't think anybody watching this is like, wow, what a stereotypical looking Australian. That's what they all look like. Bloody Guess Who characters. But yeah, it was always bars. It's just harrowing when you look back and you're like, am I just like an alcoholic and I found ways to make it acceptable? Like, I worked in a bottle shop, then I worked in a bar, then I hosted pub trivia in bars, now I do comedy in bars. Like it's always
You're
there.
just desperate
just wanna
to be
drink
close
on
to
the
fucking
job,
booze all
Yeah.
the time.
It's weird. No funerals, unfortunately.
I've
A couple of
never
weddings.
Never.
Yeah.
I've never worked in a bar. I've never I've had friends who've like travelled the world working bars, but always sounded shite to me. It was like, oh, that's amazing. Let's see this country, but like you spend most of your time in the dark in the evening. You're not getting to explore it in the day, are you? My mate went to the Cayman Islands for like months. Worked in the Cayman Islands, and when he'd speak about it, it sounded amazing. Like all these high rollers are coming in, you're getting fat tips. And when he came home, he was like, I had island fever. I was seeing the same sights all the time. People go, oh, why'd you come back home from paradise? And it's like, when you're living in places like that, you just want to go home in the
becomes your
aircon and watch
life, yeah.
Netflix. Like, I don't think I could fucking...
I like that, like, island mentality. It's like, I'm sick
Island
of the
fever.
same old shit in the Cayman Islands. Let's go see the very diverse United Kingdom again.
Yeah.
These
Well,
services
we've
have
got
slightly
that
different
Look at the
shops.
same new build estates. Oh my god, is that a White House? That's crazy.
Hey, poverty comes in fucking many... I don't want to finish that sentence. I don't want to finish that sentence.
I do get it though. Like I've forgotten what I was going to say. I poured my first ever pint the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
How'd you go?
Oh, mate, fucking nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And I'm never becoming a bartender. Fucking retired champion.
Yeah. That's it, retire.
Mate,
The top of your game.
Absolutely nailed it. I did it at AMP, where I host tonight, and Aaron, who is the general manager there, got halfway through me pouring it and told me I was doing it wrong. Still fucking nailed it by the end, mate.
Yeah, smashed it,
fucking
lad.
corrected it, mate.
Do you like you guys put a head on beer here?
Yeah.
Like a little bit. Not
Yeah,
a big,
just a little bit. Mine had a
finger?
decent amount of head.
Good.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
Why is that frowned upon in Australia? Or?
Well, no, just like because I think what is it with ale here? There's no head, and like Australian people are like fucking English beer is flat, and it's like
Oh,
no,
really?
that's
Is
just
that a
like
thing?
one
Yeah.
kind of beer. You know what I mean? Like there's all the other stuff which is just the same.
Yeah.
But that was like my favorite thing when I lived here. I'd always drink Foster's when I was out,
Yeah.
like just because you guys know this, right? Like nobody
yeah.
in Australia drinks Foster's.
Yeah,
Like,
we had Thomas Green on like a few weeks back, and
Yeah, you're
that was a
like
revolution
third
to me.
Australian.
third Australian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's which is quite a lot. For we've probably had maybe what 40 guests.
We've had 3 Australians in a
Yeah.
bedroom in Stockport.
Yeah, their career's on fire. And he has to do this as well. And it's a pleasure
Damn it.
to have you here. But the fact
Thank
that
you
you
so
asked
much.
to come to my bedroom is
I mean, I feel like this is very Weinstein-esque because I asked for a
What's
career
his obsession
opportunity
with-
and now
with
I'm in your
predators?
bedroom.
What's his obsession with predators?
No,
I feel like Joe, like if you listen closely, they'll tell on themselves. I feel like you're, cut that.
you're
Just a very risky riff there. You're
Yeah,
like, oh, no.
yeah.
but yeah, they didn't, like Foster's wasn't a thing in.
No, not at all. There's no Foster's in Australia. Like, you can't really buy it. I think you might be able to if you try really hard.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So then, like, everyone over here, like, would know that about Australia. So then I'd order a Foster's and they'd be like, I thought you guys didn't drink Foster's in Australia, trying to look like they knew about my culture. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's all we drink. And I just leave it at that. Like, it was this joke that had no payoff for anyone apart from me,
Yeah.
just going around and being like, no, Foster's, mate. Cheers.
Just
Oh,
happy
it's the
that
good
you.
stuff, just like home. You know? Yeah.
How annoying is it being an Australian in the UK? Because it's got to be so hacky, like every conversation you have. Oh my God, the spiders. And I'm not going to be like one of those people that's like, oh, I don't do that. We literally
You've
did
literally
Thomas
ruined the
Green.
second half of this podcast. That's all.
That's all you had. Just pure spider chat. But
My
is that-
notes are just spiders.
That's so funny. Spider chat? It's like spider chat, mate. You know how it is.
Yeah, that's it's a big.
Classic.
We talk about it with everyone. It's a big topic on here. But like, that's got to be all it is, man. Surely, like you speak to like a British girl, or you go on a date with. I don't know if you've got a girlfriend or whatever. But like, surely.
I'm married and I came here with her at the time, so very
nightmare.
few like flirting
Lame
opportunities with
nightmare.
British women. British men, fuck yeah, why not?
Yeah. You got to
No,
sell those
no.
tickets somehow.
No harm, no foul. Yeah, this moustache is what you think it is. Let's fucking go. But no, honestly, it's not that bad. Like the one thing with like the Brit, like you guys always are kind of like, I've been there and like here's what your country is, and I'm like, thanks. You know,
Right.
But I
So
feel
they
like
want to mansplain Australia to you.
no, like they're just like kind of their thing. They're like,
Yeah.
did you go here? And I'm like, no, we leave that for you. Like,
Yeah.
we
No,
don't-
I didn't because you're there.
Yeah, like we don't go to Airlie Beach. That's where you guys go to get chlamydia. Like that's fine. Like we're happy for you to see
What's it called?
Airlie Beach. You're gonna love it. Not with that haircut, but you're gonna.
Yeah. Give me till Thursday.
But like, yeah, it's like it's pretty good. Like I don't mind it. Like I think we're more annoying to British people easily.
Do you think?
Because we want to do we'll do the accent. We'll just start.
Okay.
We'll come in. You know what I mean? It's just like you guys are just kind of like being like, oh, from Liverpool, and I'm like, you fucking what, mate? Like, and
God,
you
that
guys,
was
Oh,
horrific.
Geordie at the end of it.
you guys are just like, what? And you're just like, oh, fucking scouse. Like, how's it? Ah, yeah. Like, you know,
Well,
just like, ugh.
I've seen you do a bit on this. Like, you've got a fascination with like the English accents. Is that right? You did. I don't know if you remember this bit.
back
but,
in the
like,
day, yeah.
Yeah,
Way back.
I always quote you on it because he's like genuinely they've got one accent in like what is it like 15,000 miles?
Yeah, it's so
but we've
fun.
got one every 3 miles.
Yeah, it's like it's funny because I did that joke and I found out because I did it and then Damien Clark, who's obviously been here for a lot longer, is like, hey man, like just so you know, I've done that joke as well. And I'm like, fuck, does every Australian just kind of come through it? And we have the exact same observation.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I've seen another Australian comic do it too. Like, you know, everyone
Yeah.
does it differently and stuff. You know, they're not like lifting it or anything. But like, it's just like it's bizarre. Like you really do need to, you've got to come to Australia and just see that like Perth, Sydney, that is a 4.5 hour flight. Like there's fucking nothing in the middle, and it's indistinguishable.
Really?
How
Yeah.
does that even
I
happen
know.
though? Because 4 hours from here is Spanish people. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So how does that even happen?
Ironically, they were taught by an English person how to speak English. Very similar accent. That's the irony to it. But like, it's fast. It's just, yeah, I think it's because we just hadn't have as long, and like we kind of maybe move around a bit more. I don't know. It's just funny because like you cannot. The only difference is Adelaide, where it's dance instead of dance.
I feel like
Luke Kitchell said that.
this,
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
used that exact word. So is that the only word you guys have got that's different? You're like,
It must be.
You're
Well,
not
you've just
from here.
confirmed it now. Checking
Well,
references.
France instead of France. Wait, other way around.
so-
Fuck, I fucked it. See, I've only got one example to get this thing over the line. But that's what
you
we're
wasn't
told.
expecting a follow up.
Yeah, I've actually never spoken to anyone from Adelaide, so this is hearsay and rumor.
Are you able to like pinpoint where somebody's from?
Absolutely not.
No
chance.
That's
The
so
only thing, because
crazy.
like if you remember the joke, like my one is like it's the educated. Like I sound like this because I'm educated.
Yeah.
Like there's an educated Australian accent and an uneducated one, and then like that's basically it. Like
just the difference. Yeah.
just like it's just like how many levels of schooling have you gone through? Like you're saying your G's, good for you. You're not pluralizing the word you. Like these are because use.
Yeah.
Like that's I don't know if that's here. I don't think.
I don't know where we don't really say that. Sometimes in I think in Liverpool, like use as in use.
Yeah, as in like you people.
Yeah,
no,
like
that's
use
yeah.
guys.
Yeah, we do in Liverpool a bit, but it's not really that common.
We
elsewhere.
do in Liverpool. Shut up, you fucking.
Yeah,
wall. Stop trying
well,
to fit in.
I'm from Wallasey, but I live in Liverpool. I'm a wool. I'm a fucking. Do you know this?
What?
So this thing that like in Liverpool, if you're like in the surrounding areas, you're treated with more disdain than people like who are far away from Liverpool because they think that you're trying to be Scouse, which I've just kind of proven. I'm
Yeah, way to
fucking
prove the
doing.
point.
Yeah, but we get called wolves.
Wolves.
Wool, as in like woolly back, as in sheepshagger, because we have some fields and that on the other side of the.
It's
the River Mersey.
very interesting how every sheep-filled space has the implication that people are fucking those sheep. Like it's never like
It's my ancestors, baby.
but it's kind of everything. Like I think like in the Middle East, it's like those fucking camel fuckers. Like it's just like why? Like is it just a sheer lack of opportunity? Like that's because like I mean, have you heard the thing about mermaids? Like everyone think that's just like that was sailors looking at dugongs, which are called sea cows,
Yeah, I
which
thought
are
it was a
manatees. Oh yeah, that's a Pokemon as well. Yeah, evolution of a seal.
Yeah, there
You're
you go.
good. You're on top. But yeah,
Catch them all.
like and that's like it's just like sailors like invented the mermaid to try to fuck this basically like sea cow.
Yeah, just trying to sell that. Oh no, honestly, she had tits.
Yeah.
just trying to blend
She sung me a song. Like it's like what? Like, but you know what I mean? It's just like how desperate were bros back in the day. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. You say back in the day. Yeah, it's just in general.
Yeah, it's true. You find the right part of the internet, and you'll be like, man, do you know where any dugongs are?
I'm gonna be honest. I've zoned out for this last 2 minutes. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking
A
about.
dugong.
No.
It's a sea creature. You're going on an island, are you?
I'll go to Lanzarote. Yeah, I don't know if they've got those there though.
Probably not. Are you guys there?
Huh?
Are like a lot of British people there?
Oh yeah,
it's one of them places.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any nature there then.
It's fucked off a while.
My
I'm
wife
gonna
and I-
find a bit just a fucking cat in Lanzarote and send you a photo of it. Like fuck you, there's nature.
It'd be
not
the
even
scabbiest
domesticated.
cat. It doesn't even want to fucking be there.
Well, man, I saw it like there are so many foxes in London. I don't know if it's like everywhere, but like in London you see them bloody
Call
everywhere.
them ladies, God.
I'm so sorry.
You're married, God.
Yeah, I know. There's so many of them. None of them mine. But yeah, just like it's funny. Like I think foxes kind of more overrun like the UK than like any kind of animal does in Australia, in like a CBD kind of city centre sense.
Yeah.
Like I think they're like the most like kind of just apart from like birds and shit, obviously. Like, we got
No,
plenty
but
of that.
it's a bit weird. It's a bit different in it seeing a fucking fox. Like they're common in cities and everything. Of a night time, you just like that's when you see them knocking about.
Dude, 100%. They just chill in the backyard and like they're kind of like manky looking.
Yeah.
Like they don't look well.
Are we still talking about foxes or the ladies now? I don't know. Depends what part of the UK you go to.
I'm not calling English people ugly again.
No.
I did it on stage and then I put the video up and everyone liked
Really,
it.
yeah?
Then Facebook took it down for hate speech. And I was like,
Oh my
I'm
God.
saying it in England. Like,
yeah.
they
in
liked
front of
it.
an English crowd who
It's-
are
yeah.
laughing. Yeah.
Some British people just need to get a fucking grip. We posted a clip when Luke Kitchell was on of just like he was just talking about the Uber driver in London being a bit condescending, as if everything was like impressive, but you have all those things in Australia as well.
Yeah.
And the amount of fucking British people who were commenting on that on TikTok, going, "Well, if you don't like it, fuck off elsewhere." Or like taking it personally.
But it's just proving his fucking point,
Yeah, exactly.
isn't it?
You are
the lack of self-awareness is mind-blowing. He's like, I feel like British people can be a little bit difficult to deal with. Well, fuck you then. Oh, right, okay, good. Woo, you're really calm there.
I just love that it's like, if you don't like it, fuck off home. And he's like, I will.
Yeah.
I'm not
At the end
staying
of my tour, I don't live here.
Yeah. I'm doing like literally 8 shows and that's it. That's all I'm doing.
fuck
I'm
off,
gone.
yeah.
How long are you here for?
I'm here till I think I fly back on the 22nd.
Oh, you're here
22nd,
for some
so
time then.
Yeah, but I'm like in and out. Like I came here for a wedding. Like Australians just refuse to do anything in Australia.
Right.
So like because
There was
I'm
an Australian wedding in the UK.
Yeah, no, in fucking Verona, in Italy.
That's
This is what
nice,
happens when you're middle class. Your stupid friends with high-paying jobs marry European women, and then they refuse to get married in an Anglo-Saxon country, and now here I'm in fucking Europe again. You know?
Doing gigs in England just to fucking pay for the trip.
Exactly. Dude, that's why I'm like, I got this wedding. I better make it tax deductible.
Nice.
Sorry, James. I'm really happy for you, but like,
I would buy a loan off you. You know what you're fucking talking about.
But no, just like that's it. I just kind of tacked it on, and it was just it's cool to kind of be able to do it because like I obviously lived here for a couple of years and I loved it, and then I was like planning to come back kind of almost immediately, and then COVID happened, so I was like, I'll probably give it a miss.
Yeah.
For a bit.
Are you coming back for the Fringe this year?
Yeah, I am. That's what I
sick.
mean. It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, it's pointless to be here.
I'm here
and
till
then
June 22nd, then
literally-
I come back August.
Yeah. What's going on?
He's
in
gonna go.
that
He's
gap?
gonna be like the Abe Simpson meme when he walks in. You're gonna get to Australia, hang your hat up, and then get back on a flight.
Yeah, pretty much. I just want to get a tan back in Australia, come back.
Yeah.
It's amazing how close to our winter your summer is currently. Like, I wear more clothes here now than in Australia now.
We've been fucking loving this as well.
What?
Like,
Yeah,
this has
this is
been
good.
amazing
Oh, this is
for
our
us.
pinnacle, bro.
Mate, I have been
What?
sweating
Oh.
in the back in a hammock in a fucking
I bought a
council
linen
station.
shirt the other day, bro. This is our.
I've been loving it, mate. Yeah.
This is our.
I've been hay fevered up to the max, fucking sniffling in the park. It's great. We love this. Is this
What are you
shit
doing
to
in
you?
the park? You don't have any kids or know any. What are you doing in the park?
I've been walking the dog.
Right.
Yeah, one of our listeners fucking saw me in the park with the dog. He commented on Twitter.
Read it out.
Oh,
That's so
fucking
funny.
it upset.
That's so
Christ,
funny.
I got it now. I'm sorry.
Did he? All right, I won't spoil.
Yeah.
I had follow-up questions already.
So yeah, I was walking the dog in the park.
Bearing in mind that, like, doesn't matter. Carry on.
Right, where the fuck did I send this? Sorry.
You sent it to.
There we go. I've got it. Yeah. So he just commented. I told a story about something I saw in the park. I saw a duck kill its kid. It was fucking intense. No more context for that.
Sorry, I thought you said you saw a duck kill a kid, not its kid.
Its own kid,
And I was
yeah.
like, look at this fucking duck go. Like, oh my God.
I don't think there's a duck in Anfield that's capable of that.
I'd have been less surprised.
The
to be
kids
fair.
of Anfield, they'll kill the duck, bro.
And I just told the story on the podcast, so he commented on like the post for that episode. I saw you walking a dog in Nugent Park the other week, and I said to my oldest son, who's 12, "Oh, that's Liam from the podcast I listen to." And he went, "Wow, is he famous?" And he went, "No."
The fact, I don't think this is our issue though. I think it's more the issue of this man's child who thinks that if you were famous, you would still be in that park, the grottiest park.
Literally 2 Sundays ago, there was a guy with a machete at the skate park. That's
Yeah.
how
Was he
fucking-
famous?
Yeah, he's more famous than I am. He's had more fucking media coverage, I'll tell you that.
What was he doing at the skate park with a machete? That-
Trying to kill someone.
Really?
Yeah. He
that
went
doesn't
with
seem
someone.
very Tony Hawk's of him, you know?
Yeah, I skipped that level
Tony
on
Hawk's Pro
underground.
Slicer.
I saw an Australian. Oh, I don't know why I fucking said that so weird. I saw
Australian.
an
I saw
Australian.
Australian?
I saw an Australian guy on the news years ago, and it stuck with me because
Steve Owen, good bloke. No.
the only one I've ever seen on TV.
Rolf Harris, bad bloke. How many do you want to go for?
I saw like it was one of the most athletic feats I've ever seen in my entire life. This guy scaled the Sydney Opera House in a pair of flip-flops, and the police had to get him down. Like the police had to. The footage on the news was him at the top, and the police like fighting to get a harness on him to save him, and
Yeah,
him being
right.
like "fuck off," like kind of bladdered. And I just don't understand the physics.
I've gone up. Well, like, oh, jeez. I don't know this footage. I thought it was like sometimes people climb it to like protest shit. Was it one of those? Did he have like a flag?
I don't think so. I'm sure it was just one guy flip-flops, and he seemed drunk. Now, I might be romanticizing this. You know, when you add details, I might have added these details to make the memory
You just had like a couple
more
of
special.
Was it even in
walk home. You're like, what am I capable of?
Yeah, I could
Fucking
scale this in the
scaling
opera
a
house.
modern wonder of the world. I believe so.
I just love the idea of the people trying to help him. He was like, "Fuck off!" He's fucking telling them to fuck
In my
off.
head, he's like grabbing one of the thongs off his feet and like hitting them. Fucking get out of there, cunt! Like, no, don't, you dog, stay down.
For our listeners, a thong is a sandal in Australian. We know this from our previous Australian guests.
Right?
You
Is it flip flop here?
Flip flop or sandal or
But sandal just implies like a more structured shoe.
A sandal is a sandal. Sandal's
is it?
not a split.
I just call them all slider. All the same thing, aren't
Slider.
they? Yeah,
That
They're the
sounds
ones that you
dirty.
yeah, you stir the
Got
ones
a
you
fresh
just-
pair of sliders. Felt so good when I went in. Don't know about that. Don't know about that.
aerodynamic.
But have you guys? This is like one of my kind of favorite Australian contributions. Have you seen the Succulent Chinese meal guy?
Oh, I fucking love it. This is Democracy Manifest.
Yeah. Get your hand off my penis. Like, just this guy whose voice sounds pre-recorded getting thrown out of a Chinese restaurant over what was apparently a case of mistaken identity.
I heard that it was like a dine and dash.
But this is the thing, there was like a dine and dasher who looked like this guy. And this guy just got arrested.
I've not seen any
This
of
is
this.
supposedly the thing.
It's one of the best, one of my all-time.
Should we get it up on
videos.
YouTube? How long's the video?
It's only a couple minutes. Yeah, it's a guy.
Oh, probably like a minute, if that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Succulent Chinese
Yeah,
meal.
you
is
put that in. That's all you need, baby.
There's a guy who there's a guy like a t-shirt designer called Thumbs who does like kind of like mix-ups between like, you know, fucking pop culture stuff. Like there's like I think I got a t-shirt of like all the 90s cartoon shit like that, but he does a Democracy Manifest.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Like,
I've seen it rocking around.
Yeah, I want to rock it. I love it.
I'm not going to play it. It's like a minute and 10. I can
Yeah,
just
just watch it.
Then
if
I'll
you've
have to
not
add it
seen
into the podcast.
Just type in Democracy Manifest.
Well-
I don't think those two words have ever been used next to each other, other than in this clip.
Democracy Manifest Predatory Lending Schemes.
That's actually in the Democracy Manifesto. That's where I learned it. But honestly, no, I just realized we could wrap this all up because if you meet an Australian person, don't be like, fucking spiders. Be like,
This is.
chuck us a Succulent Chinese meal. And they're like, fuck yeah, bro.
Get your
How good is
hands off my penis!
it? Yeah, it's so good. The way that
then-
he enunciates is incredible. Like, I've never heard an Australian. He's the only person who has a different Australian accent to me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
His is genuinely different. Like,
didn't know he was
sounds bizarre.
Australian.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so deep.
So that means he's more educated than you.
Fuck. I mean,
Or less.
if I was getting
he's-
arrested,
he's
there's
more.
no way I'd be capable of coming up with, what am I being arrested for? A meal? Enjoying a succulent Chinese meal? Like, this is Democracy Manifest. Like, he says it like that. Like, he rolls his R's. And I'm like,
He
what
does.
fucking South African is this? Crazy.
It is the best.
It's very good.
Fucking
Look it
hell.
up.
Should we do some features?
Yeah, go for it.
Sweet. We've had one sent in by a listener, so we asked listeners to send in like they need advice, they need like problem solving, they want to tell us about the worst thing that's ever happened to them. Yada,
Sometimes
yada,
to that
yada,
person
you
in the
get
cafe who just wants to say something.
Yeah.
Just wants to drop a truth bomb.
Sorry, I'm just imagining who's looking at this lineup being like, they probably know better than me.
Yeah. Literally every guest says that. Like, why do they want advice from you? And it's like, well, if you've seen some of the listeners, you would understand. So
We love you. Like and subscribe.
yeah, send stuff in. spreadingasupport@gmail.com. Daniel's not coming on again, so you won't be insulted.
Whoa.
He's
I hear
already
lovely
getting
people.
fucked up. So this one's been sent in by Lewis Pettit, and he wants to know who is in the wrong here, and he put it in block capitals. So I feel like it's a big issue.
Sure.
So
Who is in the wrong here? Shouting it out, yeah.
stay up, lads. So the other day I was eating a succulent Chinese meal, and then
Hey.
not even seeing it.
To be fair, that bombed me. Was that a succulent Chinese meal you were
It's a
eating
fucking
before?
Vietnamese meal, you
Oh,
racist
sorry,
cunt.
yeah, that was very racist.
My God.
Oh,
Absolutely
God.
awful.
Not good stuff.
We have Chinese chippies in Liverpool. I know my culture.
What are Chinese chippies?
Oh, it's a very Liverpool exclusive thing. I found this out recently. Our
Sounds authentic.
our chippies are like fish and chips, like a sausage dinner and stuff.
Yes.
Also, the majority of ours sell Chinese food as well.
Okay.
So it's very common for us to have like chips and curry, like curry fried rice. You know, like a little. It's a fusion dish. It's quite cultured.
Fusion.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Chinese Scouse fusion.
I don't
We do them in Manchester
It's a
as well.
different F word, like Frankenstein. Like just two things stitched together in some kind of monstrous form.
Yeah.
But like, are there Chinese people working there?
Yeah.
Right there. Okay.
Yeah, because that was a big thing recently when it was like, can you call it Chinese food or something? And it like went super viral on Twitter, and everyone was like trying to argue the point of whether or not you could.
What if there's not a Chinese person working there?
No,
Can you
if
call it
like
Chinese
just
food?
regard because it's not Chinese food really. Do you know what I mean? It's like our fucking it's chicken nuggets with salt and pepper fucking seasoning on. It's not the real thing. And everyone on
sounds fucking good to me though.
but then everyone on Twitter was like, yeah, but it's Chinese people working here. So if you're trying to boycott this, do you not see the fucking issue in what you're doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're going, oh, this is racist because it's not real Chinese food. It's like, but it's a Chinese person making it, and you boycotting it is putting them out of work. You fucking morons.
Yeah, then I've been wearing a lot more Bangladeshi clothes than I was previously aware of. If it's the chef that determines the nationality of the cuisine.
Yeah.
I thought it was German. There you go.
It was cultural appropriation. That's all.
So Lewis Petty says, "What Snow's in the wrong?"
Who's in the wrong? Probably me.
He says, "Hey up, lads! It's quite a long one. I will prepare you for that, but." It's fine. It says, hey up lads, love the pod, only just started listening and it's absolute fire. Please tell me if I'm being a knobhead here. Last year, me and a few other lads at work had a bit of a side hustle going on, getting rid of a bit of scrap metal while we were moving workshop in a larger factory a few miles away. Why is that so
He
funny?
scouse him, carry on.
But if he's not, you've offended him so bad.
I have it on good authority.
Oh, do you know him?
No, it's just continue on.
Okay. Does the fact that he spelled aluminium wrong make him more or less scouse because he's fucked up that?
As a wall, I couldn't possibly comment.
So it's like hang on. Getting rid of a bit of scrap metal while we were moving workshop to a larger factory a few miles away. Nothing major, just little bits of aluminium and stainless steel from some of the old machines that we were throwing away, just so at the end of the year we could go out and have a couple of free beers. One Saturday, two of the lads got greedy and emptied the full fucking scrap metal skip. I'm talking probably £1,000 worth of scrap. Me and another lad who was in the little... I will cut all of the mistakes. So
Would you like me to read it for you?
No, we've been there before. So many times. The amount of times guests have gone, Aaron, do you want me to read it? And I'm like, nah.
He can do it. He can do it. I believe in him.
Yeah. These often go viral, and it's going to be my fucking face on the video, all right? Go fuck yourself. Go back to where you came from. That's the soundbite. Before they realise he's Australian as well, that's the soundbite. Me and another lad who was in on the little hustle had no idea that these two lads did this. Monday morning comes around and our manager notices that the skip is completely empty. He does some investigating and finds a CCTV footage of what went off. He speaks to all the engineers and everyone denies knowing anything about it. He then pulled the two lads in the office and shows them the CCTV video of what happened and sats to both of them. One of the lads then ratted me and another lad out saying that we were all in on it and we had a cut of the money, basically throwing us under the bus too. After a long investigation and various meetings, me and this lad just ended up with a written warning and got to keep our jobs due to a lack of evidence. Here's the thing. The lad who ratted on me was a really good mate. I was at his wedding 2 months earlier. We did charity events together and we socialised with our partners together. The thing that got me the most, though, is that this lad has a serious drinking problem. I'm talking he would be 4 cans deep before 8 a.m. every day and then would sneak off at work and have a few cans throughout the day and then have a shitload more after work. We do a lot of driving at work, usually around 1,000 miles a week, and obviously having 4 cans for breakfast isn't ideal, so most of the time I would go and pick him up and we would just travel in my van. He lives 30 minutes away from me too, so it's a bit out of my way. He had complaints from customers at work saying he stank of booze on regular occasions. I would protect him and I've lied to our company many times about his drinking problem because I didn't want him to lose his job. He was going through financial difficulty at the time, so I didn't think that it was fair even though it was wrong. So what do I do? Ignore the grassing cunt and never speak to him again, or just let it go because I was doing something wrong and all he did was tell the truth. Cheers lads, Lewis. Oof. So, to sum up, they were stealing from work.
Sound.
Okay, good. How was that retail job? That's why you worked at Giacomo. You're like, mine!
No, the discount was good enough.
Yeah.
That's a steal.
If old mate does some more driving, you might need a suit.
That's funny.
Well, not on commission anymore. You can go.
So, they were stealing from work. One of the lads has took it way too far and stole a fuck ton more. The boss was caught wind. He didn't want to go down by himself, so he's took his mate with him. His mates then managed to keep his job, and his mate's fuming because he let a lot of things go. He, took the rap for him on other things that he would go to the ends of the earth to stop him from getting found out and all that sort of stuff. So he wants to know, Does he never speak to his mate again, or does he just let it go because he was doing something wrong? I feel like this is such an obvious answer, and the fact he's written this in makes me question the brain cells of this man.
It seems obvious.
Of course,
his mate stopped him in, but what you got to think as well is
stop it.
The decision making of a very sober man, and the decision making of a pisshead.
That's not his problem, though, is it?
Yeah, but
that's not his problem.
I've made some bad decisions when I've been drunk.
Right. But also, he's probably not.
And
that
I'd also
drunk.
grass on any of my mates if I was bladdered, 100%. If I thought it'd get me out of the shit.
Lewis, do you want to do a podcast with someone?
I don't have a drinking problem. I'm not drunk that often, but when I am, the knife comes out.
I don't know. You got to just fucking bin your mate off. He's been a knobhead. First of all, he's took it way too far. What was going to be, 50, 60 quid here and there turned into £1,000. Yeah, and then he's tried to rat you out for something that you never actually did. Okay, Lewis was doing something wrong. He was stealing scrap metal from work, whatever. But he wasn't stealing £1,000 worth. You know what I mean?
I don't think that you can look at an addict's behaviour with the same lens as you would a non-addict's behaviour, Aaron. I think you really need to look into mental health issues and
immediately
educate yourself. And maybe speak to that woman in the cafe. People like to
do anything.
Well, maybe she's got mental health issues.
You could ask her what she thinks.
She's
got that kind of time.
Useless. Yeah, she would be keen on responding.
Plus, I admire the scrap metal hustle. The reason I laughed and said he was Scouse is because my fucking wife, allegedly.
Wait, allegedly your wife?
Done the same thing with her job when she started. There's a scrap metal hustle going on, and they were all, but they're not scum like that. They were like getting everyone in on it, and she's such a goody two shoes. She was so nervous. She was so nervous about the fact that she was getting money. Is this above board? Is this legit? Everyone was like, yeah, it's fine. And then she was confronted about it because the bosses found out. Because the guy came back to ask if they had any more scrap metal, and the bosses found out, and they confronted them all about it. But they weren't even like. They weren't pissed off, but the only thing they were pissed off about was that they weren't involved in it and they didn't get a cut. So whenever there's scrap metal now, everyone gets the fair share, and that's how it should be. If you're running a hustle, get everyone involved.
But this is the thing, though, isn't it? This fella's a dickhead because he stole £1,000 worth and then didn't give his mate any, didn't give Lewis any, but then also ratted out Lewis for something that wasn't that noticeable until he took it way too far. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you going and killing someone and going, but hey, Aaron punched him earlier that day. It's like, yeah, but I didn't stab him in the neck. Yeah. It's not the same fucking thing, is it?
No, but I would still try and absolve myself of that guilt in some way by throwing me.
I don't think this bloke feels guilty.
If I was bladdered, that's the thing. Sober, I completely get it. I get where you're coming from. Pissheads don't function the same. As a son of an alcoholic, I know this. I make exceptions for them. So that's probably what's going on. Yeah. Not you, Mum.
I was going to say something horrible. What do you think?
I mean, it's funny because I get the position of empathy.
Yeah.
But I think you've
He's trying to just disagree with me for content. That's all he's doing, the miserable twat.
I think you've actually summed it up well in the sense that it wasn't one misstep from this guy.
Yeah.
It was literally a triple threat. His own shit's fucked up. That happens to people sometimes, whatever. It's he's got financial problems. It's he's an alcoholic. He's I'm pretty sure those are related.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't think it's two completely separate issues. He had these financial problems and magically became an alcoholic, and now he's kept the financial. It's crazy. These two unrelated things simultaneously. What an unlucky fella. But the thing is, I do get the sympathy for drunk people, but he's an alcoholic. Okay, so if you're gonna be an alcoholic and need your friend, don't be a cunt to your friend. You get cut in on the scrap metal thing with your friend, and then you get greedy. Maybe at the best to the other guy, maybe it's his idea, who the fuck knows. But then you rat your mate. It's bad.
Yeah. When you say it, I agree.
Yeah.
It just is bad.
He's more educated.
It is bad, but I'm also I don't think you just then. I don't believe in the excommunication of people. I think that's an absurd, I'm going to say Greek, I don't mean it, but I do mean it. I think it's a Greek concept, they're just never again, I'll never speak to them again, fuck them.
About all that,
and I'm nah, just.
I think that's too much energy, personally. I think that's too much. I mean, I know
no-
we're called
oh,
spread
none at all.
negativity, but it's
It's
too much
none at all.
negative. It is. It's hard work hating someone, don't you
No,
think?
because you
It
don't
is.
hate them.
Yeah.
It's not a case of like Lewis is going to hate this guy if he never speaks to him again. He's just not going to think about him again. You need to understand, because I have a different viewpoint.
He will
on
every
this.
time he sees a piece of scrap metal. The first thing he'll think about is this situation.
How many
So don't kid
pieces
yourself, Lewis, lad.
How many pieces of scrap metal are kicking around the north? Like
If you're
everything's
Liverpool,
just
a lot.
a reminder.
Do you know, sometimes you'd get a fella walking down the street round ours, genuinely just going, scrap metal! Scrap metal! Do wanting
Where's
to
he
buy it. Well, he was enunciating to be Yeah, it was the thing, the scrap metal guy.
I'm just
come.
seeing him like walking down the street, seeing some copper, and being like, I wonder what he's up to. You know? I'll always miss him.
See, it's just reflection in the fucking
Yeah.
metal.
Just like this like weird montage in a movie, like a slow piano number under it, as he's like carrying the copper by himself, looking behind him. No one's there.
Picking his
do
mate up
f-
from work, bladdered over his shoulder, just putting him into the car.
I don't know though, because like, I wouldn't think about this guy again. Like if I just fuck him off, because I've had this before where I'm just like, I don't know, I've helped you out loads in our lives, and then you've just screwed me over. Like, why am I going to be pals with you still? It doesn't make sense.
So you've cut people off like that, just dead ties.
I've
Oh,
just
see you
I've cut
later.
them off because I'm like, this is wasted energy being friends with you. I know what you're saying about how like hating them is wasted energy as well, but it's wasted energy going on and being their mate when you know that they're just any opportunity they're just going to throw you under the bus, and that becomes just.
Can't even tell the barber I don't like not to cut my hair because I don't want to upset him. I'm a people pleaser. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be your mate forever. Take advantage of me, do it. I'll just be your mate.
Clip it. You heard it. You heard him. We were going to do another one, but we do have to sort of keep this rolling, so we'll save that one for next time. Because you've got shit to do.
And
shit
so
to do.
do you. So
Yeah.
does everybody.
Yeah.
No,
Everybody's
just got to
fucking
pick my
busy.
wife up from a nan's.
You got a Chinese meal to get. A
Yeah,
succulent
succulent,
Chinese meal.
baby.
Succulent.
If you are new to the podcast and you're watching, because Daniel's on, first of all, thanks. We really appreciate it. And we do a section at the end called Off Your Chest, where we invite the guest or a listener or anyone really, if you want to send something in, spreadnegativitypod@gmail.com. We invite them to get something off their chest, something that's happened this day, this week, this month, this year. Have you got anything you want to get off your chest?
Yeah.
Sweet. Hit me.
Got it.
That was such
I got it.
so
No, because it was funny. Because like when I eventually read the message about what I should think about
you
before coming on the pod,
Whilst
which-
eating the sandwich outside
well,
that
yeah,
door.
like
So-
after sending Aaron everything it was literally in the order in which I sent it. It's like, where is it? How do I park? What happens next? And it's just like there's a fucking
I
message
sent you
I
a
sent
voice
you
note.
a month ago, you dickhead. And I'm like, oh, I can't read. I thought you'd have more empathy.
He asked me about the parking situation. But about 40 minutes before he needed to park his car, he got in his car, went on the message, found the address, and right underneath the address was the parking information. So he just fucking.
I need to get something off my chest. I wasn't messaging you. My wife was, because I was driving because we were running very late, and she's like, "Where's the address?" And I'm like, "It's in the message. Just look for the postcode." So she was the person who
I
put the
don't
address
like that. It's like when you're on speaker and you don't know. You need to be telling me who I'm speaking with. You need to be
I
giving
never
me all the
thought about it
information.
like that, yeah?
Anything that you can stumble over, you can say to my wife.
Clip it.
No, so the thing that I do to get, it was good because I told my wife the other day, and she's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "I know." And so we're just at my friend James's wedding. We're at the wedding, in Verona. Love you, James.
Tax-deductible wedding.
And so tax deductible wedding, yeah, very good. And so we're like kind of house sitting for them while they're on their honeymoon. Like I said, like I'm on tour, so I'm like kind of in and out, but I can like go and water the plants, blah blah blah. And he's like, "That'd be
Could
great."
you do that one behind you?
Yeah, that's a fucking mess. that's got a short.
has buller like that.
That's got a shorter life expectancy than that fucking bloke. Not going well. Whoops. Anyway, it's medically proven. Anyway, so doesn't matter. What did I have to get off my chest?
What about your wife and James?
Oh yeah, no. Oh, that sounds a bit lewd. No thanks. No. So I was house sitting for them. Like my wife was still in Italy. I'd come back. Just kind of quickly, I'd drop some bags off, change stuff over, and go back to Europe. And I was house sitting, but like I went out and had a couple of drinks with some mates. And the next morning, I heard a knocking at the door. You know when it's like not your house?
Yeah.
Someone's knocking at the door, and you're like, I don't want to take this. I don't live here. I don't have the responsibility of door opening.
Yeah.
Like no one knows I'm here.
Through the letterbox. Do you want to buy any scrap metal?
No, they're fucking just chiseling the letterbox off. Very handy piece of metal. But no, like so. Yeah, it was just knocking, and I was like kind of not even that hungover, and I was like, I could get it. But it was literally I can't explain how close to the door I was sleeping. Like I'm thinking like 1.5 meters.
Yeah.
Just like so close, and I was just like but it might just be like a neighbor, like it's just gonna be a problem for me, and I don't deserve any problems. I don't live here. I've got Australian problems, not British problems. And
Spiders.
Like our problems,
I got 8-legged problems, and then I was just like fuck it, and I just went back to bed and just let it unanswered, and like. I got to the door and it was like a package, and it was like one of those things like you missed your parcel delivery, and then it's like you need to pick up the parcel between X and Y, otherwise it gets sent back to the sender, and it was like probably like a wedding gift. And I looked at the date and it was like before they get back from their honeymoon, and I'm like, fuck. Because I can't pick it up. I don't have an ID. Like I couldn't, you know what I mean? There's nothing to
Perfect
prove I
alibi.
live at the address. But I could have just opened the fucking door.
Yeah, it's
when I
not
was
the perfect
awake.
alibi. He's literally on a podcast going, "Yeah, I didn't care enough." I would have caught the perfect. Like if James watches this, he's not off the hook by the fact that he doesn't have ID, because James isn't going to be like, well, you know, fair enough. He's going to go, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, you were on
You
the
didn't
other
want to look
side
out the
of
window
Yeah.
just to see the man in the DPD uniform. Like, you didn't want to do that.
Just, you know, that it's so annoying to have
I
to
get it.
answer the
I
door,
hate it.
especially when it's not
100%.
your
I hate
door.
it so much.
Yeah, I hate it
It's
so
never
much.
It's never
anything
good
good.
news. It's
Never
never
good.
good news. Oftentimes they'll be bringing it like I say, I'm going on holiday, been buying new clothes. I'm not kidding. I've spent £280 online shopping, which isn't that much money, but it's a lot, isn't it, for online shopping? Not one thing has fit me. I have got bags of clothes that need to go back so
Stop
I
being
can
such a
get my
fat
200.
cunt then.
I was going to say, do you maybe need like a bigger neck hole?
For your big fat head, you little fucking gimp. Just let that pile on at you at the end.
What is happening?
I don't know, mate.
Actually,
I'm showing off. What you think?
my
Dan?
legs were too long for the trousers that I bought.
Yeah, well,
That's
fuck it.
quite a nice brag.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I like that. I
yeah.
don't mind
So
that.
why don't you go fuck yourself, you short ass cunt?
Yeah, I do wear a short inside leg, and I am.
Yeah, you do. You
very
really
sad
do.
about
How tall are you?
Yeah, tall enough.
How tall specifically?
5'9".
5'9". Just wanted to hear you say it. So, you've been a dickhead.
No, I
want you to know
do
that.
back what you're saying though. I back what you're
Should
saying.
have answered
I'm
his door.
starting-
This
I'm
man's trusted you.
I'm starting to figure out the dynamic here. This guy's a piece of shit. I think there's more points to be made. Guys,
Wow,
I think
he's
we,
really just summed up 74 episodes there.
I think we just invented radio. Yeah. I think we did it. Guys, you should broadcast this live.
Thanks so much for coming on, man. We really appreciate it. You're on tour at the minute, but this isn't going to go out in time, so... Do you want to plug your next tour?
Yeah, I mean, I'm at Edinburgh Fringe. I think it'll go out before
Yeah, it'll go
August.
out before the Fringe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Edinburgh Fringe. If you want to come through and see me there, I've filmed the special. I don't know where it's going to go yet, but keep an eye out. It's probably best to get me on Instagram at Dan Muggleton.
Yeah.
Because Australia doesn't really use Twitter. We don't have opinions.
Yeah, we have too many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's
And definitely check that out. Dan's one of... that I made the point. Both of us did actually in 2019 to go and see your show at the Fringe. I really like your
thanks.
stuff. You had you've also got a special on Amazon Prime. Is that right?
Yeah, but that's not great. I mean, well, if you watch the first 35 minutes,
It sounds.
but the last 15 probably give it a miss.
just your watch time, just like.
Dude, it's not great stuff. But yeah, I got another one on YouTube for free. Actually, you can watch that. Just put me on YouTube. I pop up.
You got stuff.
Yeah,
you got shit
I'm
going
around,
on.
I'm around,
Cool.
you know,
you've
there's
got
albums
You've
and
got a
shit.
great joke actually about terrorists, which I think is cool. I think that's on your Amazon Prime special.
It
isn't
is.
That? Yeah.
It is. That was that.
About
it
how
worked.
difficult it used to be for terrorists to be terrorists, whereas now it's just like not that big a deal.
Like the acts of terrorism used to be quite complex, like hijacking a plane, flying it into a skinny building. Now it's like, can you drive a car? Not really. Perfect. And you know it's a good one where you can do it that quick. It's like Aaron reading an email.
Hey, I cut that. I cut all of that out. Oh God, we just lost the wide shot. Oh no. Oh no.
That's fine. It was a good ending.
It's
yeah.
right. It's right at the end. We didn't get the
literally,
three
I
things that
didn't
you
say
hated
cut
though.
Shit.
Oh, nightmare.
Oh, we can easily just quickly swap a battery.
Do you want me to just? I could go into frame. Like
Yeah, come over here.
I can just move.
How you doing, mate? Yeah, it's good to see you.
Now I feel like the guest on my own podcast. Go on.
So you've done your plugs. Give us 3 things that you hate.
Short battery life. That's definitely one. Sharing a frame with another cunt with a big head. I definitely don't enjoy that either. And what's the third thing that I hate? Actually, you know what I genuinely really hate? How inconsistent my hair is. I've been looking at fucking Liam's hair. This whole fucking look at that thing.
You think? I thought it was
It's
a bad
the
cut.
same.
It is a bad cut.
It's but it's going to look like a bad cut every day.
Yeah, but it's a
Whereas
consistent
mine-
bad cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Mine's
yeah.
a mess.
Mine's always inconsistent. But like Joe before, we were talking about how like, oh fuck, my hair looks shit today. My head looks massive. It's so poofy. Like you don't like your haircut. You're not a fan. But mine's still to come. So like you're worse in this situation, I think.
I feel pretty happy about it.
No, you don't.
No,
That's why
I
you brought
didn't
it
even
up.
sell that happiness, did I? I sounded like fucking Eeyore.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. Thanks so much for coming on, Dan. We really appreciate it.
Such a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Nice one. Thanks,
No
mate.
worries.